I'm asking to be shown. How am I compromising? Well, true magnitude surely has nothing to do with arrogance or delusions or grandeur, as the ego would have me believe. However, to the ego can feel arrogant and delusional to step out of its dark shadows into clarity, and as a result to be very, very clear as to what I feel inspired to do and not to do anymore. I have received some explicit guidance over the past weeks in a couple of situations, and accordingly acted totally unlike my character would have normally done. In those moments, it felt absolutely exhilarating and liberating to step out of the comfort zone of littleness and to take back my power by following the lead of the Spirit. I am very grateful for the feeling, yes, the magnitude and power of Spirit so plainly within me, working its way through me to awaken me from the dream of littleness. Yet I must say that the ego whiplash after such a powerful experience can be quite disturbing at times. A lot of guilt arises then, reminding me why I chose the seeming safety, in quotes, of littleness before. I would love to hear some advice and comfort regarding those whiplashes. What I feel is already helping me is to remind myself that I am dreaming and that I should not give anything in this world the status of reality. And that's exactly what I'm talking about this morning. Not giving anything in this world the status of reality. Because when you start to unplug from the ego is not going to be pleased. The ego is like a slave driver, and it wants your mind. And it actually knows that even to seem to exist, it needs the power of your mind believing in it for it to even have any seeming existence or seeming power. At one point in A Course in Miracles, Jesus said, you made the ego by believing it, and you can dispel it by withdrawing your belief from it. Now that is the answer, Charlotte, and that for all of you who are really asking, how am I going to escape from this littleness and step into magnitude, you have to withdraw your belief in the ego. You have to withdraw your loyalty away from the ego. All of you have the power of faith. All of you have the power of trust. All of you have the power of prayer. But as long as you keep that power invested in the ego belief system, you will seem to suffer the consequences of believing in something that's not true. The ego is a death wish. And if you believe in the ego, that's why Jesus said in the Bible, the wages of sin is death. Not as a punishment, it's just saying, if you give your holy mind over to such a crazy death wish, what would you expect to come of having that much faith and trust in a death wish? That's why the body seems to die, and if you believe you're the body, you seem to die with it, just by belief, not in reality, but just by belief. So let's go back. Charlotte, we'll put you back on the screen here because I really feel you've got some real sincere questions. Because you're asking the question, what do I do when I have these exhilarating experiences, when I give myself over to Spirit, and then there's this ego whiplash or ego backlash that comes. And I really feel like that is the reason why we're having these online retreats. Why do we have spiritual centers in different parts of the world? Why do we work in terms of communities or in terms of mighty companions? Why do we emphasize so much nurturing and support in that when you have an ego whiplash or an ego backlash, the most important thing is is to realize that this is just a temptation. This has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with who you are. It has nothing to do with you choosing the miracle. It's simply this attempt to draw your mind back to the darkness. It's an attempt to distract your mind to believe in darkness. And it can be somewhat difficult. Emotionally it can be difficult, but also if your mind and the ego call forth witnesses around you, I call them doubt thoughts. And if you're trying to be vigilant for God and God's kingdom, and you're suddenly surrounded by doubt thoughts, it can seem a little bit difficult. That's part of the whiplash. It's all happening in our mind, even though we would be tempted to believe, oh, why are these people trying to sway me back when I'm taking my stand for expanding, for growing and expanding spiritually? Why are these characters telling me, be careful, beware, why are these doubt thoughts there? So this is why it takes a lot of faith to continue on, and it's also why, like, I'm broadcasting to you right now from a studio that's filled with people, these dream characters. I love these characters around me, all these characters, because they're just symbols of devotion to forgiveness and to waking up. That's their profession. We have Lilo sings this spectacular song, and she's there behind the camera and working the electronics. We've got a whole room full of them all doing that, but it's because their focus is, how can I serve? How can I serve the plan? How can I extend these glorious ideas so that I may strengthen them in my own awareness? Not for a personal reason, not for a personal gain. Nobody in this room is here because they have huge salaries and perks. How many people have yachts? No, I don't see. Nobody in here has yachts. They're here for another reason. They're here because of the calling of the heart. And so, I want to maybe we can unmute Charlotte so we can really communicate and share here. Are you hearing the answer to your question?
Yes. Oh, I'm here myself, even. Beautiful. Echoing everything that, yes. Wow. Yes, I'm very, very touched that this is happening right now. Oh, wow, I've got so much going on. Oh dear. Yeah, the thing that comes to my mind is that I couldn't attend the session last night because I was crying all the time. Because I suddenly realized, and Spirit had just taken me to places and to situations to show me what is really going on, and I feel I can listen to it and I just do it. I just go somewhere where I think, I don't know why I have to go there, but I just do it. And I realized the reason why I've been afraid all my life, and I've felt so much fear, is because I made the world real, and I thought that the world is real and that God is gone, that he doesn't exist, and that I lost the one thing that I truly love, and that the one thing that is precious to me, and that I have to settle for less. And I tried every time to settle for less, for everything that I looked around. Okay, maybe a career, maybe a study, maybe a house. And I tried, but I just couldn't put my heart into it, and I didn't get why. How can this be enough? But I really believed that that I had nothing else. And then this morning I put on a replay, and then Eric was singing, I think I believed I lost the love. And I was like, this is exactly why I'm trying to compromise all the time, because I really believed, and sometimes I still believe, that it's not real. That is what you're talking about, what everything, what Living Miracles is showing and telling. I thought there's a doubt, but this is real, realer, more real than the things that I see with my eyes.
Yeah.
And that is, and this was so, I still cannot believe, cannot quite receive that this is real. That's something that I want most, and I've always wanted most in my entire life. That really exists, and it is for me.
Yeah. That's it. When you say, I forgot God, that's just a case of a very deep case of amnesia, and that is the whole amnesia of the human race. The entire human race is an amnesia of forgetting God. And some of the human race say, oh, I believe in God, and some of the human race say, no, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, and some of the human race say, I'm agnostic, I believe in knowledge, but I don't believe in God. But it's all an amnesia, a complete forgetting of divine love, of God. And that's quite apparent. So now you have to think of it as that was amnesia. Now we're playing a game called reverse amnesia. So you and I are on this adventure now called reverse amnesia, where we're going to help each other forget the world and remember God. And what does that even mean? That means that you have permission to have beautiful mystical experiences where you lose awareness of the body. You have permission now to let go of the concerns of time, of the future. What will my future be? Where will I end up? How is this going to look? How will I survive? All those crazy doubt thoughts, you have permission to forget them.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Awakening to True Happiness with modern-day mystic David Hoffmeister. You can access more of David's teachings by visiting his website at davidhoffmeister.com. Tune in to David again next week on Evolutionary Voices for the Quantum Age, heard Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern on the Dream Vision 7 radio network.